Turkish champions just to 55 and knocking them off with well, more than half the innings to go at 34 deliveries. But this one, I think, will be anything but an easy victory. Teams just getting themselves organised. Looks like it's opening up. Will be Shadnan Khan. He will be bowling to Taranjit Singh. Now Taranjit Singh, he goes from the word go. He's not going to hang around. Here we go. First ball, second match, Group C. And Taranjit, as I suspected, he's not going to hang around. He certainly looks a lot leaner, doesn't he, Taranjit? I said earlier today that he seems to have worked on his fitness. I was talking to him last night as they arrived at base camp, and he said, yeah, he's done a lot of work on his fitness. He said couldn't play too much cricket, so it's all about getting the fitness right. Khan once more to Taranjit Singh, and gets the edge. He's going to have to go. Yeah, that's a really good seed. And Taranjit, well, he hung around. He needed the umpire to give him the little nod, and Charles Croucher obliges, puts the finger up, and Taranjit goes for a 2-ball duck. That's really well bowled. A good pace, just that little bit of movement away. And yeah, Abdullah says, yeah, I got you. So Taranjit goes without scoring. And it's not the start that Cluj wanted. They rely a lot on Taranjit. It's a disappointing start for a man who's, well, he's searching 47 runs. That will bring up 1,000 runs scored in ECL for him, but not to be this time. But I'm sure we'll see plenty of him this week as the new batter comes out. It's Abdul Asif. And a good time as the new batter comes out in the middle, joined by Vinny Sandhu in the commentary box.
Yeah, I was going to say, Taranjit Singh just needs 47 runs to bring up 1,000 runs on ECN. He'll get no closer in that innings. A little feather on that. Like the bowling from Shadnan Khan. He's a player we've seen a fair bit of on ECN. Also, I've seen him playing ECS in Austria. Shadnan has a T10 international, a T10 century, I should say. Not international, but T10 century to his name as well. Playing ECS cricket in Italy. Now he's doing it with the ball. So, yeah, I often say, though, if you're going to make a duck, make it a quick one, get out the way. Abdul Asif had a really good ECS last year in Romania for ACCB. And he's in this Cluj squad now, so he's a good addition for them. He's facing up, so good battle on our hands here. Here's Khan.
Gets a bit on this. Fine leg will make the stop, so runs on the board. It wasn't the best of delivery to the new batter.
That's 2 matches in a row in Group C where we've seen a wicket before we've seen a run as well. If you remember this morning, the Turkish champions, St. Brenna Zafar, lost a wicket very first ball. And here's Satvik Nadagodla, who's returning for his 2nd European Cricket League. I think he's a much better player than the one we saw. Having a good look, but I think the height's the thing here. I think that's a good call by Charles Croucher. I think it hits him above the pad. I know he's a long way back. What do you think, Rico?
Ooh, very, very close. Yeah, that's what you saw, that Charles Croucher. He's having a good long look. Very good shout. Really good shout. I mean, it's one of those that you can analyse many a way to.
It's high for me. I think it's a good decision.
Slower delivery, played out to the man. Long off and no run there. Clean pick-up, clean throw, and that's Bashar Ali. It's lovely chatting to him yesterday. He's telling me that he's 43 years old, but he's still keeping up with the youngsters. And, no mistake from him there. Good pick-up, good throw.
Very slick, wasn't it? Last ball of the over coming up.
Goes for it, and he gets it. It's over the infielder, and that's the first boundary. 4 runs, 4 carreras. A nice positive shot from Nadagodla.
Yeah, so certainly not the first over that Cluj were looking for, the Romanian champions, but does finish with a promising sign as Nadagotla gets their first boundary of ECL 22. 1 over down, it's 5 for 1. Question from Tarek in the chat saying, what's the lowest score in ECL? Well, the lowest score in European Cricket League, the Champions League of European Cricket, is 44 by Star CC back in Group A this year. Lowest score in all ECN cricket we've seen is 6 by Guyssss, 6 all out. Chasing target of 201, so just falling a little bit short on that one. I mean, you know that one very well, Rico, but yeah, right here, I don't think we're going to see anything like that. And it will be Basharat Ali, actually, to bowl over number 2, the man you just mentioned. It's, Cluj, they will continue to throw the bat. They pulled off the highest successful chase last year on ECN, 159.
Ali, he comes to Asif. And on the pad, big appeal. And, well, I tell you what, be interesting to see if, where this one was, because, look, I mean, it's a good shot, but, look, he's probably just going to carry on to move. But look at the throw. I reckon he's ball watching. He doesn't realise he's in trouble. And by the time he gets his skaters on, it would have been too late. He would have been run out.
He would have been out by plenty. That was really slippery from Basharat Ali. It was about where it pitched. I think there were a couple of things that were borderline, but I think maybe you didn't see Hawkeye that one. Very close shout.
Great take. What a great stop this is. I mean, it's a wide anyway, but Yasser Abdullah saves 4 here. This is superb keeping.
You can see things have gone up a notch already, haven't they, here in match 2. Both these teams will be desperate to start with a win. They have ambitions of winning this match. And when Romania met Italy last time in the ECL 2.5 years ago, there was a big distance, I felt, between the two sides. I feel like that's been narrowed in the last 2.5 years. Not so much because Italy have gone backwards, but because Romania have improved and honed their skills.
It's a nice shot. And, observation here, they're only going for the one man out, because third man, unless it, no, has he been pushed? He's been pushed out now.
Yeah.
Third man at the start of that ball was inside the circle.
And they've got the slip.
That was a bit strange.
Until I see if he's just hasn't found his groove yet, but he can hit a long ball, Rico. Saw that in Bucharest last year.
But no run there, so Ali with his left arm bowling, he's just getting the ball to nip back at the batters. Occasionally strays just down the leg side though.
He swung himself off his feet there. This is good pace from Basharat Ali that we're seeing, just off a short run.
Yeah, so third man gets into play, and that's why it was wise that they did move him back. So we get the single.
It's a slow ball, really clever variation from Basharat Ali this time. He just rolls his fingers on this one. So after he's bowled those zippy little in-swingers, he just takes the pace off and almost skews away to a fielder. So pretty high quality start this from the opening bowlers for Brescia CC.
Again, but no appeal from the bowler this time. So once again, it's probably too much movement. That's impressed here, and just look at that. You see, he's going down the leg, but I think he holds that one back slightly as well, Vinny.
Yeah, you can see that. So, has gone for a boundary. This is where Cluj were able to get a boundary in the first over. They look fantastic, these kits. Now, I agree, the Cluj, different.
Yeah.
Like it. I like Brescia CC in the green as well. Their trademark colour. Last ball of the second over.
Oh, this is in the lid. I think he's a bat onto the lid. And now asking the question. And we're going to go upstairs. We're going to go to the third umpire. So it's all happening out there at the moment. So this is some work to do for Nilkesh Patel on third umpire duty.
Just in. Just in.
Good technique. Look, this is why we always say when you're running, got to slide that bat in. Really good pick up and throw. Asking the question. But yeah, I think you'll see, as we saw in that replay, just gets his bat slid in time.
There's a lot going on that ball. It also came straight up and whacked the batter as if in the grill. So, I mean, that's, again, so important. That wasn't really a bouncer, but that ball still would have deflected up and probably hit him in the teeth.
Yeah.
So important to wear the protective equipment, I think, as we get to the end of the second over. 11 for 1. Pretty good over that from Basharat Ali.
Yeah, had a bit of everything, didn't it? Look, we're talking about the helmet issue there. That's why I was very keen to talk to something like Zishan from the Tigers last week. He doesn't bat without a lid. And one of the things that I was trying to say to him is, look, you know, I think you need to, as the standard is getting better, you need to start wearing a lid. And one thing he said to me is, yeah, but Rico, you know, I don't think the ball, I'm not going to let the ball hit me on the head. And I said, it's not about the ball. It's quite often, as many a batter would tell you, it's quite often the ball coming off the bat and getting it. So, yeah, that's our advice. We recommend everybody to wear a helmet. And I know that people know already my views on it. If it was up to me, I would say that it's a must, it's compulsory. But it's not, but maybe. Time to come, it will be. 2 overs gone, 11 for 1, so great start from Brescia here. And I'm going to change it up slightly and going for, look, it's going to be Bashar Khan here.
I was curious about the fact that they're stopping the pace, because it seems to be working pretty well so far.
Yeah.
That's a good start though, a bit of extra bounce. Bashar Khan, left arm orthodox, fairly tall man. You expect him to get some bounce. As if it's going to go here.
It's going to be called a wide. Good calling, good backing up there. And got like deciding, yeah, we can make this into 2. Got to hustle. I think runs aren't going to be easy to come by.
Yeah, they've stifled the top order at the moment. They all love to play their shots, but the bowling's been high quality so far from Brescia CC.
Yeah, Massif, get going. Comes down, but he's not to the pitch of this at all. So it's a total miscue. And the fielder who's there at long on him, and Naveed comes in.
They're going to keep swinging it, the Romanians. They're going to keep swinging it. Don't worry about that. Have all these wickets in hand. Abdulatif now.
Good shot, and this one will go all the way to the roar of the teammates back in the camp. That's what they're looking for. The big hit. Boom. Shakalaka.
They needed something to go, didn't they? And they went to spin. I was a little bit surprised they took the pace off here in the third. Abdulatif, not quite out of the middle, but if he gets going, he can be supersonic, Rico.
Yeah, I mean, this was just too short. He had time to go back and hit it. I mean, there was spin, there was movement. And the other thing is, of course, I mean, whether they change that field here now, we shall wait to see. But they've left mid-wicket wide open.
Yeah, power play, only 2 outfielders available. And so it's always a risk when you bring on a spinner if they don't get it quite right. I don't think they were planning on that being the length from the bowler. Bashar Khan comes back now.
And well, this is huge. This is going over us. What a big hit this is. Balle, Ginna Sona, Ginna Bada Shaka.
Now, this is Abdulatif bringing the boom boom. As this one was out of the middle. This flew straight over us. Well, I was watching out for the roof. It was well over that. So back-to-back Maximos. The gamble to go to spin, not paying off at the moment for Brescia CC skipper Kalab Sajjan.
Quick delivery, but fires it down the leg side. It's going to be a wide. So this is definitely the over that gets things started for Cluj.
It's the over they needed, isn't it, Cluj? Just to get going. A couple of loose deliveries.
Beats him outside the off. That one. So ball to go in the over. 16. The boundary makes it magical.
Yeah, people think that might be the biggest hit in the ECL so far. Certainly the biggest in this direction. That was massive.
And finishing with back-to-back dots. That's the end of the over. 27 for 1. So to get 16 off that one. It's the over they needed to make that power play. Well, it's not quite as effective as they would have liked, but that over certainly has helped.
Still a good power play, I think, for the most part for Brescia CC. But yeah, 16 of those 27 coming in that third over. Very warm welcome to all of you. Maya's in the chat. Maya Zucchini. Hello, Maya. Hope you're going well. Looking forward to seeing you. Guess that'll be next week. I think Maya's planning to come for Group D, which is next week. And a lot of people thinking that this game is a bit of a toss-up. And I think it says a lot about how far Romanian cricket has come, particularly the T10 format. We saw them, certainly with the bat, they competed very well, I thought, in the ECC. Their bowling struggled a little bit at the level. But we're going to go now to the captain, Kalab Sajjad.
A bit short, but they're now with the luxury of being able to put 3 extra fielders outside the circle. He's got protection out there now. But still, I want to be just pitching up slightly with the captain, Sajjad. Just over him, hit straight. Long off, will do the fielding.
Yes, Chad's a clever leg spinner, experienced campaigner. Saw him leading the side in the ECS. We were there in Brescia last year, just almost a year ago now.
Oh, well, this one, I don't know by how much it's missed, but not too much. And the wicketkeeper, I think, suggesting that I thought it was going to hit.
See, this is, I think it was given a bye, what should have been. It's not great keeping, because look, he needs to be catching this ball. He's too busy watching it, waiting to see it crash into the stumps.
In the air, will the fielder get there? Will he drop short? Agonisingly dropping short in front of Imran Naveed.
Yeah, Imran Naveed coming in from long on, couldn't quite get there. Had a lot of hang time. The captain, call the catch, went up straight away.
Fuller delivery, well bowled. Just a single, so creating some issues with the captain.
Just stifled this early attacking intent of Cluj at the moment, Brescia CC.
Shot, this goes all the way. Balle, balle, balle. Ginna, Sona, Shaka, Lagya.
A nice shot through the line of the ball. He's actually there to swing it and swing it hard. And this is a nice one through the line as well. This one's lifted up and over. He gets his first Maximo of match 2. And after 4 overs, the score is 38 for 1. Very, very warm welcome to you, no matter where you're watching from around the world. It's always great to have your company. Vinny Sander here, Mr. Maximo, alongside me, Rico Full. And Rico, isn't it great to see 2 countries represented again that we did see in ECL 19,
yep.
The countries of Romania and the country of Italy.
Yeah, absolutely fabulous. I mean, this is what this is about, isn't it? This is these teams, they're the champions of their own country. So remember, we've got 29 different countries being represented here. So 29 champions coming together. It's a magnificent feast.
Yeah, it is a feast of cricket. 144 matches across 6 weeks. And yeah, I think it's been a good start from Brescia CC. I think both these teams are really keen to hit the ground running. Starts are really important. They can set the tone for the week. Yep. But remember, they will play each other over the first 3 days in the round robin format. And then heading into Super Thursday, Finals Friday, we'll find out who will represent Group C as Naveed comes into the attack.
Oh, beats him with pace outside the off. Nice delivery. It's a really good delivery from Naveed.
Yeah, Naveed, perfect start, putting it on a dime. And a Gottlieb on strike.
And well, this is cleverly played, actually. Maybe a little bit closer to the keeper than he would have liked, but it's gone so quick. Look, no, when you see it again there, it's nowhere near. Really nice, intelligent batting, just using the pace of the bowler, and thought, yeah, I'm just going to guide this down there. Third man on the boundary or not. I'm not going to stop that.
Yeah, clever batting, using the pace. Yeah, this is what we're talking about, the format. 6 teams play each other, so they play 5 matches each. Because if you're in the top 3 or the bottom 3, it's a very different experience. So that's the big carrot at the moment. You don't want to be in that bottom half after match 15.
Just straighten his line. Going for pace here. And this is, again, a good stop from Dula.
Yeah, Dula's a pretty acrobatic keeper. It's just say he's not your regular keeper build. I think he's going to win any figure skating medals, but he does get down there quickly, down the leg side. So a bit of pace in that one from Imran Naveed.
Naveed once more. And he got like, that's good pace, isn't it? Good pace, carries through, and I think he's probably said that he got low. Well, he didn't get anything on this one, did he? And not just good pace, but good areas, just inside that guideline there for the umpires.
Yeah, see, the batting sometimes can be a bit rusty, I think, at the start of these weeks, because these teams are coming off the off season. Bowling, I think, a bit more margin for error, more opportunities.
And this one's made good contact, but it goes straight to the man at fine, either side of him.
That's a good fielding position, I think, deep fine leg. You don't see it enough. I think that bowler at the pace of Naveed, if the fine leg's in the circle, that'll be 4. I think it's a pretty good fielding position, and even though we're out of the power play, see that they still have kept the field fairly up.
Chance this time to take the single.
Not a bad start though. I mean, those back-to-back sixes made a big difference. The run rates around between 9 and 10. So I mean, I think you put 100 on the board, 100 plus, you can maybe accelerate a bit towards the end. At least you've got something to bowl at, and Brescia CC. That will be a handful, I'm sure, for Cluj with the bats in hand as well. But a good competitive encounter here in match 2 so far.
Works his away, but fielder should stop it, and does. So it will be just a single again. Doesn't really get the timing of this one. I think he's once again, it's the pace. The pace is quick. Not able to get into position quick enough. Another over comes to an end. So at the halfway point, it's 46 for 1. So I mean, he lost that wicket, and it was a big wicket of Taranjeet, the second ball of the innings. So these two have at least got that partnership going, but they'll be looking here now to, all right, you want to be doing more than double that. I think ideally go at the same rate, but try and get a magical over in there somewhere where you're picking up 20 runs or plus from it. Gives you a score around between 110 and 120. That's what they're going to be looking for. Just having a look. So it looks like that the captain, Khalib, he will continue.
Yeah, he's going to bowl his 2 overs in succession. Sajjad.
He flights that one up, doesn't he? But batter's not yet prepared to go after it. Being pretty patient.
Marian Guyssss, a Romanian teenager with some international experience to his name.
They'll go after this one, and it goes the distance. Nice shot. Hit firmly, hit straight. That's 6, that's the boundary. That's what they need to be looking for now. A couple of those every over, and they really get this score close to the 120 mark. Good hit.
It was a nice hit, wasn't it? Yeah, just a little bit short from the slow bowler. Lifted up and away. As if, after a slightly slow start, he is now 30 or 15 balls.
This one he hits into the ground, could quite easily chop this onto the stumps, but gets a single. I mean, yeah, he's going around 2 a ball. He can go at that from here on in. That's fine. And he got though, he's struggling. He's at 1 a ball, so you can see the difference between the two. And well, that'll help. What a lovely shot this is. And it's all about anticipation. Gets himself into position early and hits it away. over the boundary on the onside. 6 more.
Yeah, nice shot. Nice shot. It's moving time for Cluj. The 50s come up now. And I think they are eyeing off a triple-digit score. And then some. And if Asif stays there, every chance they'll be able to do that.
50 partnership up between these two.
That's fine.
That's an interesting choice. I mean, and I think the other thing, he didn't help himself by actually taking the step in that direction as well.
It was inside the line anyway. Just a slight misjudgment.
He comes down for it and he gets it just over the fielder. But it's 6 more. Well, it's Shaka time. And they're targeting the captain, Sajjad.
Yeah, it's a nice shot. Straight through the line. See there? The onlookers up the hill. Watch that one fly, and it takes us to the end of the 6th over. All the 6s, 66 off 6 for the loss of 1 wicket. And yeah, another one who had a bit of a slow start, but they're working their way into this innings.
Yeah. Well, I said, Vinny, that if they go at the pace they're going, if they get a magical over in there, then that'll certainly help. Well, that was magical. That was 20 on the button. So that certainly made... So they're back on the 10 here now. So 10 and over, more or less. So that's the 100. And get those extra 20 runs from somewhere. That's the 120. That's what they'll be looking for here.
Yeah, I got a question from Craig Felsenthal in the chat. Great to have you with us, Craig, and a wonderful question as well. Great for this ball from Imran Naveed.
Well bowled. And almost gets through the defences of Asif.
Yeah, well, gets away with one though. He's pretty nippy actually, Naveed. Yeah, so Craig's asking about Pavel Florin, what his status is, because of course we saw him turning out for Cluj in 2019, and he's not in this Cluj squad. Now he's playing his cricket for the Bucharest Gladiators in Romania, which has a bit more of a native Romanian flavour. So that's how he felt that he can best kind of develop cricket in Romania.
Uppish, chance, goes down. And that's disappointment for the bowler and the team. Those have to be taken. And that was at a comfortable height. And yeah, it's going to be disappointed, Brescia can't to miss this one.
Yeah, look, that's one that it's a coach killer, as Corey would say. It's a fairly simple chance, just clanged by Brescia Khan.
And no power in the shot. This is just, I've seen a few times that it's the pace really off Naveed that's beaten the batters here. There's Taranjeet there in the back. He's enjoying things. He's not able to get going himself.
He hurries onto you, Naveed, and when you're walking at him, you're giving yourself less time to play it.
Up in the air. Will this go to hand? It does. That's a really good catch taken. So they get the breakthrough that they needed. Nice catch.
Yeah, that's Amadullah Safi, the man that Danny Hudacek calls Mr. 100%, but he told me now he's Mr. 200%. Now he's turning out for Brescia CC. Okay, well, I think those laughs might have been before this, because says Nadi Gotla. It's a bit of a top edge. Really good catch, made the ground quickly. He's an excellent fielder, and you can see why he's called Mr. 100%, because he's able to grab that one at pace, sticks the landing, and that's the second wicket down. But end of a pretty good knock from Nadi Gotla. He goes for 28, and it's 69 for 2.
Yeah, I mean, look, I sense that Nadi Gotla, he did have to go. He did have to take those chances. Now, he'd been there for a while, just needed to get the acceleration in. And he won't be too disappointed. He's done his job. He's got the partnership together when they lost that early wicket. And this is probably a good time for your, what you would call here, for your big hitters to come in now and really try and accelerate the score.
He deserves that wicket. Imran Naveed, he's bowled pretty well. You bat up at the crease. Doesn't stick around. This is an unrun shaker up.
Yeah, well, how this doesn't hit. I mean, these stumps looked like they were going to be shattered for a minute. Just a wild swing.
Yeah, he's not waiting. Yeah, we've got one ball left now in the 7th. Right, shaker up. A player we didn't see at ECL 19, making his ECL debut. We did see with the ECS last year.
Gets this firmly down the ground. Will get the single, gets himself off the mark. That's the end of the over. So 70 for 7. So we're back onto that 10 and over.
Yeah, still got to just settle and still get your 10s, I think. Anything more is a bonus, but take maybe 2 a ball from here. Gets you 106. And that's more or less a pass score, I think, based on what we've seen so far in the ECL. Just touching once more on Pavel, because there's a bit of chat about him in the live chat at the moment. So we've got a lot of people interested what he's up to, so I'm not sure if we'll see him during this week. Who knows, they make finals week perhaps, but obviously he was a big part of the ECL story. But obviously it was interesting to see him playing against Cluj actually in the ECS last year in Romania. Obviously still a big figure, particularly amongst the local population there, the ethnically Romanian population. You see he's been a big supporter of kids coming through like Marian Gerasim, Mihai Akim as well, Romanian teenager. He's played domestically there. Here's Safi, missed 100%.
Oh, Safi. You saw him take a great catch, and his captain has probably said to him, well, okay, you've earned yourself a ball. And Mr. 200%, and he gets the first one through. Dot balls at this stage of Gold Dust, because you can see Cluj are really trying to accelerate. They want more than the 10 and over. They want more than 100. They want 120. And that means they need to take one bowler apart here. Will it be Safi? Well, no, he won't, because he's knocked him over. Timber! The castle has been destroyed. And the stumps all over the place. A little bit of dynamite going on there. And this is what we like to see when you get a quick bowler coming in. There's no better sight. And he knocks them over. He damages the woodwork. Here we go. Wait for it. Boom. Jaka de Fatte, middle stump out of the ground. There's not a purer sight for a quick bowler.
Now Safi's turning up the heat as well. I brought him on. Maybe he's a bit of a death bowling specialist. He's got the 8th here. Maybe he'll get the 10th. Maybe he will after that delivery, which was just a bit too hot to handle for Unshankara. So, disappointing start to his series. And in the 8th over, Cluj are 70 for 3.
Yeah, it just goes to show that you know, there was a good partnership there between Nadi Gotla and Asif. They were going well, and Nadi Gotla getting out. He wasn't going at the highest rate, really, per rate, a strike rate. But a new batter came in. It's not easy. It's not easy to go out there and go after the bowling straight away. And we saw there what the result is if you don't get it right. So Safi gets ready to take on the new batter. Takes his guard, getting himself adjusted.
This is Vasu Saini coming in.
Saini, yeah.
Middle order batter. He batted 3 in the ECL 19. And he's someone we've seen kind of pushed down just because some of the other big players they've got in their lineup. But here's Safi.
Well bowled, pitched up, and that's all he's got to do here. That's his role, not to bowl anything short, not wide, right up there, make the batters play. And that's a good delivery first up for Saini.
Yeah, and Saini's another bit of a love story. We had one last week, didn't we, with Hussein in Brigade. He moved to Romania, but then found love, and he's stayed there, and he's been a fixture on the Romanian cricket scene ever since.
Doesn't time this, and will just drop agonisingly short for both the men straight. It's a single. Singles ain't going to hurt, so this is good from Brescia. Really now keeping the pressure on Cluj. Cluj needs something to happen. They need a magical over. Well,
yeah, just as if still there though.
Been starved a little off the strike.
Yeah.
Now's the opportunity.
Saini on strike now.
Clever, slower delivery. Totally outfoxes him. Another dot ball.
Yeah, it's been a good over, hasn't it? ABD in the chat. Thinks Carlton will be a pretty good shout to win the week, although we haven't seen them yet. So,
yeah,
I'm sure they'll have their own narrative this week. I'm sure they won't have it all their own way. Nothing's been simple so far in ECL 22.
Just let himself down with this one. Just gets it all wrong. Just have a look there at his footmarks.
Speaking of the Scottish, Well, John Woodward in the chat has said he's found someone that might be able to lend me a kilt in Madrid.
Yeah. It's looking better all the time.
Hold on.
Well done, John. That's what we like to hear. No excuses for Maximo.
Bit breezy. Hope it's not one of those windy days.
It's all right. No problems. And Maximo by name, Maximo by nature.
How good's this over? Only 3 off at last ball.
Full straight again. And thinking of 2, but it's not to be. And it wouldn't have been. So a good over. Safi, he would have been disappointed with the wide that he fired down there. But look, 4 runs coming off it at a time when you're trying to accelerate. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's right. So 74 for 3 off 8. This is the program, if you like. Well, England qualifying from Group A, and Brigade from Ireland qualifying from Group B. They'll be joined by one of these 6 teams, staying in Group C in week 3, and then Group D, the group of death. I think it's a really strong group. We're going to have a lot of high quality cricket there. Yeah. And then Group E, including Dutch representation with Abias Kreinhout. The hosts, of course, Spain, represented by Paco Care Badalona. And Marlow are in that group as well, from Portugal.
Punjabi lines as well from Cyprus.
Nicosia. Hello to Rajvinder Bra, who's in the chat at the moment from Cyprus. How are you, Raj? I hope you're going well. Sam Nick in there as well. And everybody else. Keep those comments and questions coming. Sarabjit, Mrs. Saranjit. Well, she's saying, well, plenty more opportunities. Fortunately, Taran not getting any this morning.
In the air, but he's probably just wide off the fielder. And then good work there. And who else would it be? Of course, Imran Naveed, who's been quality out there. Stops this from going to the boundary. So again, no boundary. Tries to do. They cannot find the rope at the moment either way.
Yeah, it's been a good little comeback from Brescia CC. They just kind of lost the handle. 6th over that went for 20. Apart from that, it's been reasonably good. Just the spin on occasion hasn't really worked out for them. I'll say a quick hello to everyone from Aloha College that's in the ground today as part of the Cricket School project.
Got him, and that's what he does. Gets that right up there, knocks him over. And, well, what a fiery character he is Ali. And we were impressed with his first spell, but this is really good. In he comes, look at this, darts that in. That one, actually, for me, that goes the other way,
I think it does.
That goes the other way, what a beauty.
He's a bit of a magician with the ball, Bashra Ali. It certainly does.
You beauty.
And it was sharp. It was full, it was sharp. And Saini, again, couldn't handle it. The stops are disturbed once again as Brescia CC really putting the kibosh on that 100-plus score we were talking about just a few minutes ago. 76 for 4. Nishan Defray will be the new batter for the Romanian champs, Cluj. A few people are asking what that flower motif is on their shirts. And I've got to admit, I don't know.
I don't think, it's a pattern. I don't think it's actually a flower. It's just a bit of a pattern, but I think it looks nice. It looks snazzy,
I'm sure there's some... What's the ology of flowers? Do you know that? It's got to have a word. Rather than asking you, I'm going to ask Google.
Yeah, that was a blank look for me. I don't know where he's going with this. But anyway, I know where Ali wants to go with this one. And we just overcooked this slightly. We wanted this to be coming in. He tries to get the Yorker. It's another one that's been called a wide. It's been pretty tight on the bowling, but that's the 7th wide. So that's something that Brescia will have a look at. 1 or 2 wild ones. That is a real wild. And
I'm going to go with botanist, which includes all plants, but also includes flowers.
Okay.
Okay, any botanists out there? Tell us what flower that looks like. 10 balls to come.
Quick asking the question. And Charles Croucher, well, he wastes no time putting the finger up. He's saying, yeah, you got to go. Well, some umpires like to think they like to keep the batter in suspense, but not Croucher. He says, yeah, you're a goner. And, yeah, I think that's a pretty good shot. He's on the back foot. He's going backwards. And this one is hitting him more or less on the roll. And that's going on to knock the stumps over. And Ali knew it too.
Yeah, 100%. That is out. And I think what I like about Bashrat Ali the most, he's bowled a lot of balls that are either hitting the stumps or would have hit the stumps in this spell. And you compare that, for example, to the Kings this morning, that just a bit errant against the Turkish champions. But yeah, Bashrat Ali has been right on line. He's got 2 for 7 now off 1.5 overs. And the thing is, Abdul Latif, he's there, he's set, he's on 34, not out, but he's just having a hard time getting the strike back.
Yeah.
And Devray couldn't get it to him as he departs. Gaurav Mishra, he played some nice cameos with the bat for Cluj last year in the ECS Romania.
Yeah, I mean, Devray, goes for a golden duck, so not something that he'll want to look at. But it's just been really good bowling. But you're absolutely right about Asif. He's there. Only faced 19 deliveries. So at the moment, looks like he's only going to face a third of the innings. He needs to get to the other end. And he does.
No boundaries, Rico, since the last ball, the 6th over. So that's now 16 deliveries without a boundary.
Yeah.
At the time when you would hope that they would have been accelerating. In that time, they've lost 4 wickets, so just losing their way. And it was all set up for them at 66 for 1 off 6.
Yeah.
And here we are almost at the end of the night. They've only added a dozen runs. But you'd also just have to take your hat off to the Italian bowling. They've been bringing the heat, to be honest, and they've been a bit spicy to handle for the Romanians. But still, they've got time to get runs on the board.
Oh, well, this one's very high. And I'd like to see this again. I mean, Anand should be saying, no, he's happy with this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My instinct was probably just okay, funnily enough.
You think?
Let's have a look. He's on the charge. Maybe just okay.
Look, I think if you're bowling at that pace, quick bowler, you don't want to be bowling there.
Yeah.
And I like to see those called.
Yeah, I wouldn't have complained if it was called, for sure.
This time goes for the Yorker. That's the end of the over. So they finish with a single, takes the score to 80 with 6 balls to go. Fine bit of bowling from Bashrat Ali. 10 runs conceded, but that's 2 wickets. He's been fiery, difficult to contain, and you can see just why that his captain, Sajid, was saying that, yeah, he may be 43 years old, but he is their wicket taker. He is the gun, and he does perform. And you can see why. It's going to be very difficult to see any batter really getting after him. He's a clever bowler, all right. He does have the odd loose one. We saw him stray down the leg side, and we saw that that full toss as well. They're the balls that good teams will put away. But in general, when he's on fire, when he's got his line right, very difficult. And it seems to be pace that's worked here for Brescia.
Again, full straight. He was able to replicate that delivery several times. And now we go back to Ahmadullah Safi, missed 100%. Big hello to Danny Hudacek as well, who I'm sure is watching today from the Czech Republic. He was with me for that Brescia series. 10th overtime.
Nice shot. And for the first time, we see the up and over, the offside. Probably the first time, really, the whip has been there to play that shot. And you can see they're waiting for it in Mishra. No, he's not thinking about getting a Asif on strike. He wants to do a bit of hitting himself. 4 runs, valuable runs. They'll be really pushing to try and get into the 90s here if they can. And that'll be a big bonus because they've really been under the cosh, really, ever since that over from the Sajid, where they knocked 20. After that, not a lot has happened.
Good shot by Mishra. Again, Asif only facing 1 ball in the last over. Mishra's got to do the job now.
He's punched away, will get the single. And good pick up, one hand pick up there. And no chance of 2, but that won't bother them because that means that Asif has got an opportunity. Now remember, I saw Asif's been off strike for such a long time. Yeah. I mean, when we spoke last, he's only had 2 deliveries since.
Yeah, he's played himself out of momentum. It's just, I don't know how much of it is luck or design. I think some of the other batters have struggled to even kind of get that one that they need. Anyway, here he is.
And loops the wicketkeeper. It's like a lob you'd see in tennis. And then, oh, there, they could keep running here. But what's happened here? The throw comes in.
Lazy
probably
cricket.
not the best of throws. The bowler who's, rather than backing up at his end.
The keeper kind of half went for the catch. So he's an man said, look, he doesn't get back to the stumps, doesn't even get close. He still would have been out.
He could have.
Well, he's 100%. He's 100% everywhere, Amadou Safi.
Well,
and then he misses from here. He's been pretty accurate from 22 yards, but from 2 yards,
he could have dived forward, ball in hand, and taken the bails off, and still had the batter run out.
Will that cost them? As Asif does pinch the strike back. Run hard here.
Good throw, and
good throw.
Bashar Ali. He's in the mood at the moment, isn't he? Everything going his way. What a throw!
I mean, you saw Brescia CC, of course, the Italian Championship weekend last year, the T20, and the match, in fact, where they did actually qualify for this ECL, beating Gina Brescia.
Where's this going to end up? This may go to the boundary. Oh, that's a sensational stop. Oh, well, that is brilliant. Well, sometimes you say that catches can win you matches. Well, stops like this can as well. That is superb. Yeah. That is absolutely superb.
It's brilliant stuff. Imad Khan. See plenty more of him. Don't worry about that. Woo! We'll see him with the bat. I think Safi enjoys it as well, because those two...
Talk about seeing. I think we saw more than we wanted in that bit of replay.
How entertaining has this been? Tell you what, like what we're seeing from Brescia CC. They are a unit at the moment. Last ball coming up, 90 on the board for Cluj.
Slow delivery now. You just got to run here. You just got to back yourself. And, well, they don't. And this is just silly. I mean, all right, you weren't going to get there, but you got to go for it. Well, one of the batters had the right idea.
I think he miscounted. He must have miscounted there. And so that's why Asif thought he was pitching the strike. Well, he's got the strike, but it's no good because the 10 overs have expired. And in the end, they're going to finish 91 for 6. And I think that's a reasonably impressive start by Brescia CC.
Yeah.
I think Cluj, nothing much too wrong in their approach, but they just weren't given too much to hit. And what they did get was pretty spicy stuff, as we saw Brescia CC, the Italian champion team. They're out here and they had a dream start. Tarajit, dangerous player. He just nicked off second ball. Disappointing start to his ECL. I'm sure he'll be back. And that was a torrid little period. But then these two, Nada Godlat and Abdul Asif, they navigated it. They got themselves in a good position. But then once again, we see the momentum swing and we see the Italians, I think, having the better of the first 10 overs of this one, match 2. That was one that hit the chops of the batter. Almost created a run out. We saw just this mid-inning surge against the spin where Cluj did most of the heavy lifting in this total of 91.
Yeah, I mean, the spin was brought in probably at the right time when you try it, but it just didn't get the length right. We're just a little bit too short. And that, well, the second over from the captain, Sajar, that was the one where 20 runs came off. And that was when we were saying that they were going okay at the halfway point, 46. You thought if you go with that, but you get a magical over in there as well, the 110, 120 score is on. And they seem to have done exactly that when they targeted the captain in his second over. But then we saw some fine bowling from Imran Nabi. He was really hot. He was fired up. And he bowled really well. And then Safi, well, the man who takes the catch, well, there he is, Mr. 200%. Well, Safi says, here you go, Skip, I've got the ball, and now I don't want to let go of it. And he didn't, and he just goes and does that. It was his turn, Amadullah Safi, to destroy the stumps. And how about that for a delivery from Bashar Ali? He has really impressed me. I mean, he got the ball to be swinging in, and then he got that one to move away, takes the stumps, and then there's the LBW decision here. Bit of confusion here. Well, this is the one thing he did do wrong. Well, how does he miss from there? Well, he didn't even have to throw this. He could have quite easily just dived towards the stump. Would have got his would have got the wicket there. How important was that? Wait and see. It did cost him a couple of runs, but you'd have to say that that's been apart from just that one blip in the middle of the innings from that one over number 6. It's been a perfect display from the champions, club champions from Italy, Brescia. Come out there, they've done a job. However, Cluj will say, we've got runs on the board. Hello and welcome back to the beautiful and picturesque Karma Oval. It's a lovely sunny day. And, well, the battle commenced between bat and ball. Cluj batting first in this match against the Italian champions Brescia. Well, the champions of Romania put 91 on the board, so 92 required for victory for Brescia. And well, they'll believe that they've done their job the first half very well, and now it's all about how to go about in the reply. They've gone with interesting. Yes, yeah, Abdullah's up there. You'd expect him to open, but Imad Khan, he's a big hitter of the ball. So it looks like they've made a slight change here to try and get these runs quickly, get a good start in the power play, and try to make a bit of an impact with the net run rate. Let's see if it works for them. The man who has the ball is ready to bowl the first. It's going to be Gaurav Mishra. Can Mishra get the breakthrough that's required? We go full here, joined as ever by my partner in crime, Mr. Vinny Sandhu.
It's good to be back. And yeah, let's go. Mishra, he swings it around. He's going to bowl the first over. 92 for victory.
Carry through. Looking for a shot straight overhand on the. Looking to cut this away.
Yassir Dulu, the keeper, opening up with Imad Khan. Imad in particular, been a key player with the bat.
Get the breakthrough. Too short, and it's going to be 4 runs. Yeah, just going to pitch the ball up slightly. I mean, he got away with it outside the off stump, but straight into the body. It's a hard tracker down the track and gets punished. And you can see Taranjeet just having a chat with Mishra and saying, come on, right up there, get it right up there. We need a good power play.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes they'll open the bowling with Taranjeet in his off spin.
Yeah,
they're giving Mishra the opportunity to swing the ball. I think they have seen it swinging around this morning. They'd have got up to the stumps.
Yeah, he does get, if he gets it right, he gets that ball to swing in, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
But he's got to get further up. See the response from him. Oh, he does try further up, but he's going to get lucky. Well, it could be caught and bowled opportunity, and it spills it. Down it goes, and well, there's quite a few people coming in here, but I think the bowler, he's fancying himself to take it. Taranjeet was just behind him as well.
It was his catch, but he ends up trying to take it fingers up, which is hard when you're on the move. He was never really set. This is one I think you've got to take it the other way. He just runs out of room, gets too close to his chest. That's a big one to drop in the first over.
Yeah, I mean, look, it wasn't, let's face it, it wasn't the best of deliveries. It was a full toss, but it wasn't dealt with, and the opportunity was there. Sometimes the bad balls get you wickets, and that one is one that they needed. They needed to take that. They needed that breakthrough. Khan could have gone for a duck.
This is Khan now. It was Dulu that got dropped.
Yeah, they did. But of course,
you know, still a lot of yap around from the Cluj fielders. They're not going to let that bother them. The other thing is they haven't really been hurt this over. Only 5 runs off it at the moment. Can he close it out, Mishra?
Goes up. Has he got the distance? Yes, it has. And they finish with a boundary. Manos arriba, arbitro. Eso es 6 carreras. Nice shot. He just, it's all about timing. Like the way he holds his shape there at the end as well. He backs himself to clear the fielder, and he does quite comfortably. So good finish to the over, but not a good one for Cluj. They know they should have had a wicket.
Yeah, and this is the difference that last ball makes. When that over went .41, ... 6 makes it 11 off the over. Does get them ahead of where they need to be. And so, Brescia CC, just those early moments going their way. Giving them some confidence. Shot by Imad Khan to get off the mark. Now over number 2. It's going to be Manmeet Kohli. He's a man that we saw playing alongside Pavel Florin at the Bucharest Gladiators last time we saw him on ECN. Here he is, rolling over number 2.
Well bowled, and well, one batter wants it, and he could be out. Oh, well, if this one hits, it's adios. And on your way you go, and it's Vasusani. Good pickup, good throw. Yeah, he was gone.
Yeah, he was gone. Just got the memo too late. Sees ball watching Imad Khan. You've got to watch your partner. Dives, but it would have been to no avail. So on the half chance, that was Vasusani that couldn't hit them.
Yeah, it's a good example there of whose call it is. You don't just go. It's good pace here.
Out of the yard, Coley fired up. Can hold the bat as well. I mean, he's listed number 10. That just is a good sign for their batting order. If that's where he's going to bat in this Cluj side. Does have a history with Cluj, of course. That's why he's here. And it's nice to see another Coley out there, this time with the ball.
Yeah.
Manmeet Coley.
Wants to get the breakthrough. This time they do take on Tarangi. And again, this time they do go straight away. So I think maybe it would have just got there.
Would have been out, but
You reckon it would have been out?
You don't even see the ball
Hard
there.
to tell because of the bounce on it.
Yeah, it bounces over. I think he was out. Yeah, he's just throwing a bounce. He thinks he's a pace bowler now, Tarangi. It's
looking sharp there, Taranjeet Singh.
So, Coley again.
Oh, that is a no ball, surely. And they've stopped the ball somehow going to the boundary. This is a nasty one.
It's a good call, good early call. That's the Sheriff Charles Crouch at square leg. They do well to actually knock this down and keep it just to one extra.
Yeah.
Thought this was going to the boundary when it came off the bat. So we've got a free hit coming up. Coley just obviously trying very, very hard, trying to keep it full, but just overcooking that a bit. So we'll have our first free hit of the innings coming up.
Be the batter to face it. So, go the full Monty here. He scored a wide, so it remains a free hit. Coley just trying to get this wide from the batter, but you see that swing there again. So, understand what he's trying to do here, but the room. Small margin of error, scored wide. Oh, this is. Oh, he could be in trouble here. And there's the throw. I think he definitely would have got a first and final with the first one, definitely. And he's going to be off.
That's such a shame for Coley. He was bowling with some fire, but then once you bowl one of those above waist height, you've got to be very careful not to bowl another one. And he's going to be taken out of the attack as a result. And so, yeah, that is a real shame. It's, he's trying to pick himself up. He's still going to have a job to do in the field. And that's someone that they would have expected to get 2 overs out of. They only get 3 balls out of him. Now Taranjeet's coming on. Again, I don't know about that. Taranjeet's someone that you'd expect. Maybe you want to get 2 overs out of him. And now this will count as a whole over. So attack being tested for depth. Free hit.
Strikes it towards mid-wicket area. They take one. Now, wasn't that surprising because you thought Coley was bowling so well.
Yeah.
Just started getting his line right. He thought, well, he's looking dangerous. And then all of a sudden, those 2 really high balls. I mean, I'm just wondering if they've slipped out or he's just got the Yorker wrong. And he's gone. He's got a wicket. Well, Taranjeet has found the edge. The catch has been taken by Nadi Gotla, so they get a breakthrough. So, well, maybe sometimes these things happen for a reason.
Well, the other thing is there are still 3 balls left in the over and 3 important balls. This would have been a wide. He just wafts at it. Dulu. And what a good catch that is by Satvik Nadigodla, who just goes with the hands. He's got good technique. And that would have been a wide. Instead, it's the wicket of Dulu, who's got to go for 7. The first wicket for the Romanian champions in ECL 22. And Brescia CC, 18 for 1.
Well, they sometimes say, well, what's the difference between Cinderella and Dulu? Well, Cinderella knows when to leave the ball. That was very wide. He had no reason to be playing at that at all. He gets the snick, he goes. He's going to be very disappointed. Taranjeet Singh, well, he's going to be pumped up with this one.
Yeah.
And, he'll be thinking, well, I'm going to be 3 balls short of what I should have had in my quota.
That's right. I mean, still, if you're going to bowl 3 balls, make them count. Question from Sam Nick in the chat about the kits. Might come to that in a second as we see Baba Hussain Coming to the crease at number 3. Again, very experienced campaigner.
Ooh, that's another snick. And this one is going to go for 4. Well, that's the story of 2 snicks. One is in the gloves of the keeper. The second one, well, it gets through him.
Yeah, and this one, if he had a slip, probably go straight to him, but Charanjit, we had 3 balls to bowl. One of them he couldn't have taken a wicket off because it was a free hit. The next one he does, and this one, very close to removing Bama Hussain first ball, but as it is, it's the end of 2 overs, and it's 22 for 1. And, Sam Nick was asking about the kits. Were they made based upon colours the club wanted, or were they just given them? They're based on the club's colours, generally speaking. So Brescia, CC, of course, you see them in the green when they're playing in Italy. Probably the exception is Cluj, who they're really proud to be wearing the purple that they wore in the ECL 19. Normally they wear a bit more of a red colour. Mishra coming back for his second over.
He goes over the top, and I don't think it will go to the boundary. Just plug, and the fielders work well, keeping this inside. Good throw as well, good arm.
Yeah, really good arm from longest boundary on the ground. So generally it's the club's colours. We'll see Alton coming up in their light blue. I have to say the kits look fantastic, and the Cluj guys, they really love the colour scheme that was worn in ECL 19. They're rocking it here in match 2.
Good work, good attacking fielding. I mean, just having a look at the bowling here, once again, of Mishra. Sort of floats it through, doesn't he? Doesn't really bang it in.
Yeah.
Just a drifter.
And he feels, he's a drifter. He probably feels he gets a bit more shape if he takes a bit of pace off, but you don't want to overdo that either. Still want to bowl it down there. Really hunting as a pack, Cluj, at the moment.
Up and over. And once again, chase on for those 2 fielders. And, this time, they're not able to stop it. That's disappointment. I think he's done all the hard work. He's caught up with it. Just needs to flick it back. But this time, they go with the foot as opposed to hand and gets away with it.
Yeah, Coley, not a good decision to go with the foot instead of the hand. I think he had support. So yeah, just leaking a few runs. What I would say is there's still a lot of chat out there. They haven't necessarily fielded particularly well, maybe with the exception of Nadagotla so far, the Romanian champions, but still they know they're 1 or 2 wickets away from breaking this game wide open.
Keep teasing the outside of the off stump. Well, now this an appeal. Just get the feeling. I'm not sure whether the batter was out or not, but this is by now is a dead ball. Yeah, that's a dead ball. Though I think his foot was still.
He was out, but I think you're right. I think it's probably lazy batting, to be honest. I mean, I always used to make sure that the keeper's disposed of the ball so they don't try something like that. Being a keeper myself, I know how keepers think. He's just rehearsing his shot.
They need a wicket. Trying to buy one there. The umpire not interested.
Yeah, ball's dead, according to the umpire. Probably the right call.
This is 2 full, and this time 1 bounce, 4 runs. I think it's a risk you take, because if you're bowling the same ball every ball, sooner or later the batters are going to know what to expect. And you see here, inside the power play, everybody inside the circle on the offside. So good hit, good contact, is going to go for 4. And they needed a power play where they're picking up wickets, but here they're giving away a few runs as well. We're in the 30s with the ball to go.
Yeah, I mean, they're not that far ahead of where Cluj were in the first innings. I think they scored, is it 27 or 28 off the power play from memory? It was 27 for 1. First ball this over, by the way, was a short run, if anyone's asking where that run went off the first ball.
This one, he does pitch it. The batter is reaching for it. But that's the end of the over. Finish at the top, 31. The end of the power play. But yeah, just for me, just bowling too much the same, not enough variation. I think it's not quite worked for them. Now, what do you do here? Do you go back with Taranjeet? I think why not?
Yeah.
You caught your wicket. I think he bowled a good line.
Yeah.
I mean, would you be tempted to get a slip in there if he's going to bowl that line? You need a wicket. You need wickets to stay in this match.
That's true. But you might get a wicket with the fielder back as well, that short third man on a big slash. I think it's going to be a bit annoying for them that he'll only be able to bowl 1.5 overs.
So let's see how this over goes first.
Tactically, I would have thought the 3 balls you want to bowl someone that you're not certain is going to have to bowl 2. Anyway, 4th overtime.
This time Taranjeet goes just a little bit shorter, and the batter's quite happy just to push this out on the onside. They take a single. And, that Khan go back on strike. He's hit the ball pretty well up until now.
I think it's going to be a theme that Monday the batting isn't quite where the bowling is. I just think that if you've ever picked up a bat after a while and headed into the nets, you know, if you've had the off season, you're just not quite top of your game.
Up in the air, shouts to catch it, and it's been taken nice and easy. And it was going to do well, really, if he was going to get any power in this. Ahmad Khan playing it off the back foot. There's no pace on the ball at all. And Taranjeet Singh, he picks up another wicket. You see this, he goes back and opts to try and hit this straight over the man at long on. Not going to happen.
Yeah, Vassasaini takes the catch. He's got a very good pair of hands. That's why he's there. Takes it as easy as you like. So Taranjeet gets a second wicket. He's got 2 for 6 off. Well, it's technically 1 over, but it's really 2 half overs. And Ahmad Khan, destructive player, but he couldn't get enough on that. So he ends up departing. As one Khan leaves, another will enter. Shadnan Khan, he is coming out at number 4. Let's see what sort of Shadnan we get. He's a player that, when he is at his best, he is a real live wire. He does have an ECN century to his name. Also seen him playing domestically in Austria last year for cricketers. Also seen him playing for PCC in Austria. Here for Brescia CC. And buongiorno to all of our Italian viewers as well.
Yeah,
chance to say hello to them. And I know that we spent a lot of time there on ECN, culminating in the Italian Super Series last year. Here's Taranjeet.
They scramble through.
Also, it'd be remiss of me to not welcome our Romanian viewers as well. Have said hello in the chat to a couple already, like Gohar Manan, who I know is watching. Ramesh Satheesan, of course, the captain of their ACC squad last year. Great to see you, Ramesh. Hope you're well.
He's got some problems. And, just wonder what other options or good options they have in spin, because me right now, seeing the way things are, I'd go for another spin option here.
Yeah, they've got a couple. Easier last time in 2019. We saw the captain bowling a bit off spin as well. I think Rajendra Pisal is another option with the ball. If you want to slow things down. No Sukran Sahi in this side today. So takes us to the end of 4 overs. This game hanging in the balance. The score is 34 for 2. And hope that you're enjoying Group C action here on the European Cricket Network. Vinny Sounder here, Mr. Maximo, along with Rico Full. And we thought we'd see some competitive cricket, particularly amongst those that we have seen a bit in ECS. Yeah. And that's how it's working out so far. We've seen a really high quality match too so far.
We have, yeah. I mean, Taranjeet Singh comes on because the bowler gets taken off after bowling 2 overweight tight full tosses. We thought, it's going to be bad news, especially because we thought that Collie was bowling really well. Yeah. And all of a sudden lost his line. But Taranjeet makes the most of it. Takes 2 wickets. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, you would normally put a bowler on that you think, well, I just want to get somebody that can just bowl these 3 deliveries. Are they going to miss those 3 balls that he's not going to be able to bowl?
If they want to bowl Taranjeet, they could have held him back for the 3rd over. Okay, you still have to dodge 3 balls. It's an awkward amount of balls, because if it was 5 balls left, I'd almost go, sure.
Yeah.
You know, or 4, okay, but 3, yeah, interesting. Anyway, here's Abdul Azif to bowl some thunderbolts.
good stop. And, this is what it's all about now. You can see that Cluj know if they want this, they're going to have to throw themselves at it. And this is what you've got to do. Dive, stop it any way you can. Ball goes in the air, take your chances, take your catches. They'll be thinking here, another couple of wickets, and they're in this match. Oh, and that one probably should have been one of them. I don't want to be critical or hard on wicket keepers. I know it's not an easy job, but I just think that this one you got to take.
He doesn't get the dive in. Nadagodla. We'll probably see this from behind. See how he's balanced here. It's just rising on him, so he doesn't even have time to get a dive in. He just has to stick the hand out and off the more or less the webbing. Does save the 4, and that was the chance to remove a dangerous hitter. Goes begging, and they have missed a couple of those.
Well bowled, good pace, and this time hitting the deck.
It's also to do about how far back you are, and I don't think Nadagodla would have kept a lot to Abdul Asif, certainly not the club level. So he was rushed there, and the way he was rushed made me think maybe he could have been 2 or 3 metres further back and be composed enough to get a dive in. So it's all to do with reading the pitch and getting used to the conditions.
That's a lovely shot, beautiful timing, and there's not too much you can do about that. Just a perfect, orthodox shot out of the textbook, 4 runs.
I mean, that was absolutely timed to perfection from Baba Hussain. It wasn't even really a half volley, but it was clattering into the fence before you knew it.
Take the single, that's good. Get a boundary, take the single. Just have a look at that rate. I mean, the rate is still around 10 and over. That's why it's really important that Cluj try and get these good overs in here. Try to stop them getting more than that 10, because if it stays at 10, you know that they're always going to have to take on at least 1 or 2 deliveries and over. Goes for the short one, and this one will be put away. 1 bounce 4, and a bit of fielding there by James Cantor, one of the ECN crew. Yeah, that's what you don't want to do. I mean, is it worth a try banging in the short one, see if there's a miss hit? Well, maybe. You learnt now. Don't bowl it again because they're up for it. It really just holds up, doesn't it?
If you're going to bowl it, you want to have the field for it as well, and there's no protection. Nice work by James to see him fielding a ball without getting injured. As we get to the halfway point, and they're pretty much bang on the rate. It's 45 for 2 after 5. A few more hellos in the chat. And we've got Ninj, who thinks that cover drive was the shot of the day so far. Also, got to say a quick hello to Andy House, who's in the chat, and Mark Simpson-Parker, who said he's loving the Austria references. Well, gone but not forgotten, Austria in ECL 22, the Austrian Cricket Tigers. Didn't quite finish the job. They topped the table after the Super Thursday. It was actually after the round robin, but couldn't get to the final of Group A. Now this is another slow bowling option that I didn't mention, Sohail Sheikh, to bowl some of his left arm spin. So replacing Taranjeet with another spinner. This time it'll be the left-handed spin of Sheikh.
Starts by floating this up. Yeah, I mean, he's a top wicket taker in the T20 league. So hoping to get a few scalps here. Just floats that one up. So he's obviously one that likes to vary his flight.
Yeah, I'm afraid to toss that one up. They just need another wicket or 2, don't they?
This one a bit more the arm ball. Get the single.
Look at the rate, it's kind of been in the 9s all the way along. They've just been ticking. So I feel like it'll be 1 over. Where the batting team goes large, or maybe Cluj take a couple of wickets. That may just tip the scales.
And this one, well, this one's going all the way over. He gives him the room, gives him the width, he floats it up, and it's there for the picking. And, well, just plays it on merit. What he's hoping here, that he's maybe charges down the track or just goes head up in the air with this one. But this is just beautifully picked. And he's saying catch it, but nobody's catching that. That's all the way.
Yeah, correct shot, hitting through the line of the ball. Doesn't try and hit across it. And that's another nice shot in that region to Baba Hussain, who hits 19 off 10.
And then Plays a lovely, correct shot down the ground. Nice to see them attacking the field, but the single's always on there. These two seem to be setting a good partnership together. They know what they're doing. Once they get that boundary, they're not taking that risk.
Shadnan Khan on strike then.
Again, there you see with the field as it is, you can do that. And they can afford to do it. It's only just around 9, so as you said, Vinny, get that boundary and then just take the singles. And if it's a bad ball, you punish it.
Yeah, Cruz. Just were a bit short in the batting department of where they wanted to be, I think, in this match, Cluj.
Looking to find that gap in between. Long on.
Oop.
Oh, well, this is a bit of a over-adjustment in the throw, but just a single.
Basu just flexing his muscles. I was worried that was going to go over their backup fielder. He launched that one over the keeper, Nadagodla. It's the end of 6 overs, 56 for 2. So despite the 6 in that over, the rest all went for singles. They're not disastrous for Cluj. Yeah, you felt that they may be able to push to something like 110.
Yeah.
But Brescia CC, particularly their pace attack, I really liked what I saw from them. They were fiery but accurate. And so now we have that 9 and over required. Brescia CC certainly would fancy themselves to get these, especially with these two batters at the crease. But Guyssss is going to come on to bowl over number 7. So we'll see him for the first time in ECL 22. Another player we saw all the way back in La Manga back in 2019. And also we have seen him in the ECS in Romania since.
Sani knows what he needs. Look, at this point, like for like, Cluj were in a better place because they just had that great over. They took 20 of Sajjad, the captain. And that's when we thought, yeah, the 110, 120 certainly looked on. But that's when Brescia came back with a bang. So, Cluj know if they can do the same here, just get a few dot balls in, put the pressure on. It's not just about wickets, it's about containment. But that doesn't help. It's a wide delivery, wild, good stop by Nadagodla, diving down on the leg side. Got to keep the extras down. They've been pretty good up until now. That's only just the second wide. Field set. 2 men straight.
Sani's a guy that they ended up bowling in the ECC towards the end of the innings.
A little bit short.
That's, yeah, I think it's to do with he can bowl a decent Yorker. He seems to be banging it in at the moment. Again, I think they brought them on a little bit earlier maybe than they planned to with no Coley. This is when they probably would have gone back to Coley again.
Yeah, good point. They need somebody to get that extra over in. Short, work to do for the fielders. Trying to split them. They should stop this. They do. Good hands there from Rajinder Pisal.
That's Raj. We saw leading the side sometimes in Romania, and Aaron Kamal wasn't playing. So Sani just marshalling the troops. Hasn't been hurt so far. The other thing is you don't want to leave it too late to bowl like Sani. Get him on while the game's alive. You know, they're one bat over it, away from being in big trouble, Cluj, but they're hanging in there at the moment.
And got him. And that's the wicket they needed. He just couldn't hold himself back. He saw it. He was teased by it with Shadnan Khan. He wanted to go for the big shot, and he doesn't. And Sani gets one.
Yes, slower ball too. It's a leg cutter from Sani that does the damage. Just doesn't arrive. A bit like some of my packages in the mail. But Shadnan, he wanted it anyway. It was a clever bit of disguise from Sani, who gets the big wicket of the ECN Centurion, Shadnan Khan. Just what Cluj needed as this game is kind of drawing to its conclusion. To back in the balance as Brescia CC lose a third. It's Shadnan who's got to go, and it's 60 for 3.
Yeah, that's a good wicket to get. I mean, it'd be interesting what options Brescia go with it, who they send out. Do they send out somebody who can hit the ball big and try and finish it quickly? Or do they just say, well, no, we don't need to at this point. Just need sensible batting to see the victory home. The man who does go out there is Sean Akbar. He's listed as normally one of their openers, so they're not going for the big guns just yet.
Yeah, Hassan Akbar, man that maybe we'd see opening. They are going for him at number 5. Can't probably bat anywhere. Tricky little situation to come in. It's hard to just get going in that 10 and over straight away, but he is there with Baba Hussain. You know, the fielding has been a real focus, I know, for so many of these teams. And you can just kind of feel that pressure from the Romanians, even though they haven't really executed with their catching and even some of their run-outs, but there's just a general pressure about them. Top balls are huge at this stage as that rate creeps above 10 for the first time.
Oh, bowled. And this helps, and he's finished the over well as well. So important, so many times. And Cluj have done it themselves here. They've had a good over in, and then the last ball ends up being a poor one, and they get a boundary. And well, give you something to think about. This is what's coming up next. So we see the champions returning.
Looking forward to seeing some of them again. It's been a while since we've seen them. Ali Naya is their captain, and we might see redo the keeper at Thomas Ups with. You can have a go at that one, but I'll tell you his name. Yasatharan Diana Vukarasu likely to open. And we've got Gary Navaratnarasa as well down there. He'll probably feature for Alton, the Swiss champion side. First time we've seen them on ECN since 2020. Anyway, here's Azif.
Yeah, chance taken. Another one bites the dust. And this is what they needed. They're getting through them now, and it's Baba Hussain that has to go. So the top 4 have all been sent back. Game on.
Yeah, well, it is game on. And I told you there's going to be a bit of rust on the bats, I think, on the Monday. And Cluj, they shot themselves in the foot early in this defence of 91. But now, coming together nicely, as if pitches up. It's a challenge kind of a length. I think Baba Hussain fancies himself to drive this up and out of the ground, but once again he finds a key fielder, Vasu Saini, who takes that one on the run. And Cluj, a team that have never won a game in the European Cricket League, 2.5 years after their first appearance. Are they going to pull off what you would consider a bit of an upset in match 2? Brescia CC now, they're 60 for 4.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite a dejected looking batter. Baba Hussain that makes his way back. He's going to be disappointed. He would feel that he's weathered the storm, and that's a bad time for him to get out. They've just lost a wicket, and with a new batter that came in, Akbar, I think those two looked to think they could see this home, but it wasn't to be.
They lose 2 wickets with the score on 60, but this man can hold a bat very, very well. Naveed Chowdhury, good player to have at number 6. He's facing Asif.
Sometimes things don't go your way. This one has been hit pretty well. But the bowler says, you're not getting past me, as if.
Dot balls are huge at this stage. You just have that pressure as a batter to know if you do make a mistake, your team's going to be in a lot of trouble if you get out.
Yeah, just a single. So singles at the moment is a win for Cluj. Dot ball, single.
Here's the thing as well, we've got 2 overs to come after this. Saini can bowl the 9th, but they're going to have an issue with who they bowl their 10th over.
More gold dust.
So the question here, let's say they need high 20s off 2 overs. Do you bowl Vasu Saini in the 9th and just try and have more and get him to defend? That's theoretically your best bowler. Do you bowl him in the 9th and put pressure on someone to bowl a 10th that hasn't bowled yet, likely?
Yeah, you bowl in the 9th. You try and kill the match.
A lot of pressure for whoever to come after him. Because their issue is they don't have Kohli for a second over, which they would have planned. And now, if they do bowl Saini, yeah, they will have to go to a new bowler in the 10th. That's going to be a lot of pressure. If there's 20 runs required or something like that, if you've got a guy who hasn't bowled even the series yet, never mind this game.
You You got Sheikh, that's only bowl 1. He only went for 11.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you got Sheikh.
So that's what I would say. If you leave him to the last, and if it is 20 odd, why not?
Yeah.
And he didn't bowl that bad either.
Yeah, sure. All right, it's 8 overs down, 63 for 4. Really good over that from Abdul Asif.
Fabulous.
And his first over went for 11 with a couple of boundaries, but this time only 3 singles and big wicket of Bama Hussain in the 8th. So now they are going back to Vasu Saini. It shows how things can change very quickly in this form of the game. Cluj, remember their story back in 2019. They're a big reason why the European Cricket Network got so much attention during that first ever major tournament. Could they break through with their first victory in ECL cricket? The dots are just adding up now, and suddenly we're talking about kind of knocking up 10 and over with the boundary and singles. But when the boundaries don't come, and in fact there's been a lot of dot balls, that rate's now going to be over 15 after that swing and a miss.
Yeah, look, a lot of it's about playing the bowlers and the ball on credit, and they're not. They're trying to put everything in the same area. And, well, sometimes it pays off. This time it has gone the distance. That's 6 runs. And it's a big hit, that from Nuri Chowdhury. But you see the ball before, look, he's trying to play the same shot again. This one's just a little bit shorter, and it does get punished. You see that's far too short. It's there. It's in the hitting zone. You got to put it fuller.
Yeah, I think he's getting a bit greedy, trying to bang it in. Yeah, well, they needed that, didn't they?
Goes short again, and this time gets away with it. Gets the bounce, gets a single, which well, probably is a win-win, because Chowdhury, he looks like the one who could probably muster the ball to the boundary. Akbar now, well, pressure on him. Just got the 1 run off the 4 balls he's faced so far.
So much pressure at the moment. It's good to put yourself to the test early on in the series. Both these teams hanging in the balance.
Goes short again. This is going to drop short. Do they take 1? They do. I'm not sure about this line here. I mean, it almost seems to be deliberately banging it in short.
Going to put this out here. Golden ball. If they do get it tight, the match will be decided by golden ball. Winner, fielding team wins. Haven't had one for a week and a half.
Sliced. It'll be a 1 bounce before Taranjeet gives it. Interesting. Vasu Saini, his first over was pitched up outside off stump, and they struggled. Now he's banged in every single ball that he's bowled short.
I think he's also been banged in a couple in the first over, to be honest. But you just see the timing's not quite there for the batters from Brescia CC at the moment. Look, they need a boundary field on one of these 2 deliveries to come.
Again, just slice. Another single. Singles is a win. It's all about trying to make it as many as required in the last. And the score moves to 73 now. So 10 have come off that over. But remember, the over started with 14 and a half required per over. So that's going to go up here now.
It's not the worst result after the 6, just to get 4 singles. And so 19 required off the last over. This would be a huge win for the Romanian champions Cluj if they could pull this off. There's a long way to go, and they are going for a different bowling option. I just had a feeling they weren't going to go with Sheikh, so they're going to go with Nishant Devray. And what a time to bowl your first over in ECL cricket. Devray, a player we didn't see at ECL 19. And he's going to have to try and defend this 19 runs. Look, you rarely see this many off the last over to win, but a new bowler, and Akbar is the man on strike.
Start with a single. And again, you see it's that. For me, it's shot selection. Yeah, okay. The odds of getting 1 away. Well, you're going to get 1, but try and do it every ball. It's not going to happen. They haven't really tried to play any shots out there on the offside or hit straight. It's all mid-wicket.
Chowdhury's on strike, and he can hit a long ball.
That'll be 4 of them. Not quite where he intended, but that's 4 runs. He's got to stay there. So that takes it to 14 now.
14 or 4. And now you're focusing on just like getting to the last ball. Okay, so to be in the game, you need to kind of get 7 runs now. So that makes it 14 off 4. You need to get 7 off the next 3. And then you need 6 to tie off last ball. So there's a minimum. You just got to try and take the game all the way down to the last ball so that you're alive.
Not sure what, I mean, they're following the ball here. This is, what is going on here? This field is all over the place.
Deep backward square leg. Then a 45 also in the circle. All right.
This one's going all the way. Balle. Well, Chowdhury is looking to do it for Brescia here. They've got him on strike, and now he's hitting big.
Yeah, see, this is always going to be the risk. Bowling length and bowling a new bowler in the last over. Devray has gotten away with length a couple of times, but this time Chowdhury goes bang. Maximo time, 8 off 3, and now it seems inevitable that we'll have a last ball finish.
Yeah.
Unless we get a couple of boundaries here.
He's got to get this outside the off stump. Full and straight. Make him drive.
Huge ball coming up.
Hits hard, 4 runs. Well, he does go full, but it gives him the win, and that's a terrific shot. Lovely shot, goes through the covers, hits 4 more.
Standard delivery from Chowdhury. They brought the mid-off up into the circle, and he just plays a cricket shot to it. Great shape. Just give himself a little bit of room. That front leg clearing. And now it's advantage Brescia CC, especially with him on strike. A boundary wins the game for the Italians now. 4 runs required off the last 2 balls. And what happens if there's a single here? There's a lot of pressure.
Got him! Oh, well, big wicket. Like I say, it's swing and miss. You've got him, and he has got his man. It was full, it was straight. He kept his nerve. So, Devray, will he be the hero, or will it be the next batter who comes in? We could be in for a golden ball here.
Well, we're almost having a heart attack up here, and Chowdhury just loses his composure at the key moment. I think he knew that he was 1 shot away from winning the game for Brescia CC. He loses his shape, he loses his leg stump, and what a way to take your first wicket in ECL cricket. Well, Devray, his heart must be beating about 250 beats a minute, as he still has to dodge a boundary off the last ball. Yeah. I think if we don't see a wide, it's pretty hard to see a 3 for a golden ball. So I think simply it will be that if the new batter comes out, if he can find the boundary or clear it, it'll be Brescia CC that wins. But if the ball stays in the ballpark, I think Cluj are going to win their first match in ECL cricket in dramatic circumstances. High drama here in match 2 of Group C at this ECL 22. But still Chowdhury, he's got his team in a position where they can win the game off the very last ball. And it's going to be the captain, Kalab Sajjad, to face his only ball of match 2. And he needs to send it to the boundary if Brescia CC are going to avoid being upset by the Romanians.
Big pressure also on Devray. It's a brave move, wasn't it? To use a bowler, hasn't bowled already. Here we go.
Boundary wins it.
And he hits it pretty well. Where's this going to end up? You've got to stop it. They do. And Cluj, there's history. Well, they've got to keep running. Oh, they've stopped running. What they have? Oh, there you go, Cluj. They'll get 2, I think. But Cluj have won. They've won their first match in European Cricket League, and his celebrations all around Brescia. They'll be scratching their heads wondering how they haven't got to the winning runs. But what a moment this is for the Romanian champions, Cluj. A victory for them, and well played to both teams. But Cluj, they held it together, they held their nerve, and well, what a victory that is.
Incredible stuff. The final score is going to be 91-90. Cluj win by 1 single run, and a team that we talked about a lot in 2019. If you remember at the time, they said, well, you mark our words, we'll come back and we'll win this one day. Well, they haven't won the tournament just yet, but they have won their first game in ECN cricket. A 1-run thriller over Brescia CC, who will be scratching their heads about how they did not chase down this target of 92.
Yeah, they certainly will, especially when things didn't go their way. I mean, there was that drop catch early on. Then you saw the bowler, Conley, who bowled really well. He was taken off. And what a moment that could have been, because that meant that Taranjeet came on to finish the over. He picked up a wicket, and he probably ends up bowling his overs earlier than he expected, because then he was straight back on to bowl his second, and he took another wicket there as well. Sometimes these things happen for a reason, and well, maybe Conley, he could have been the villain, but maybe he's actually ended up being the hero.
Well, it's a strange one. I mean, one thing you would say is that the Romanians missed a couple of chances early. It was a fairly simple one. There was some run-outs there where they couldn't hit the stumps, but Brescia CC never really made them pay at any point. You never felt they got a run on with the bat. They looked a bit rusty. You can understand that coming off the off-season. And there were no overs that really got away from the Romanians. The last over went for 17, but apart from that, no over exceeded 11. And when you add in the good work of some of the other bowlers, like Taranjeet Singh, like Vasu Saini, and he caught very well as well, the Romanian veteran. But then you just knew they were at 1 or 2 big hits away from finding their way back into this contest. And then it was a nice bit of hitting from Chowdhury, but ultimately he would fall trying one trick too many. I think that's just the scoreboard pressure. I think that's all about knowing he was one boundary away from winning, and then they needed 3 to tie, so they try it, and then the run out on the last ball, so 2 in a run out. That makes it a 1-run victory. We didn't get the golden ball, Rico, but what we did get was a dramatic finish to match 2, and it was the Romanian champions Cluj that opened their ECL account finally 2.5 years after their first performance in the tournament. Well, here's another